Good evening, folks, and welcome to this week's episode of the Pilot Review Show. I am Captain Blade J52, and I am joined by our usual band of merry co-hosts who are late yet again. But, this week...
Sorry. I was on time.
Well, all but...
Just wanted to say that.
All but one of them were late, just throwing that out there. But this week, we have Artie.
Hi.
And our resident Neela.
What up, Skittles?
And our teacher of the Kirby variety.
Teaching Kirby's everywhere, but I was still on time, man. Howdy, folks.
And she's also the insane person dancing on my chair, if y'all can see that.
Yep.
But
I'm doing the snake.
She would. And there's a very cool reason that we'll be discussing later in the show as to why she's doing that. But, anyways, we've got a good bit of stuff for y'all this week, so I suppose we should go ahead and get started. So, for our console players out there, a big thing that has come along this week is the Tier 6 flagships have finally made their way over to you guys. And this includes the Tier 6 versions of the Odyssey, the Borg, and the Scimitar. Now, we've had these for a while on the PC, a good amount of time to experiment with them, everything, and as somebody who owns all the packs, I can definitely assure you they're great ships. But, personal thoughts on the flagships, guys?
They are really, really good ships. They're consoles, at least two of the consoles when you pair them up, sometimes all three, depending on what it is you want to do with the ship, really are advantageous at the very least. They are limiting because you can only use the consoles on the flagships, but yeah, they do have some really great perks with them, and definitely check them out. You will find that they are very much worth it, especially if you're a Romulan. Check out the Scimitars. Yeah, just I love my Tier 6 Scimitar, just saying. So
To all you KDF people out there, bring great honor to your house.
Yes, definitely a thumbs up for the Borg from me as well.
Yeah.
Any thoughts from you, Sir Artie?
As a resident space Barbie, quite good ships, hulls, and all that. Quite nice.
He would be Space Barbie.
Do you blame him?
Not really. Not really at all. But,
oh, goodness.
can touch base really quickly on the traits and consoles for you guys. For the engineering versions of the ships, they come with the Adaptive Emergency Systems console. When activated, it provides a substantial boost to damage and damage resistance for a short time. Effects are increased by 50% if the starship's current hull is below 50%. And also provides a passive bonus to HP and energy damage resistance, so very good to have. Then the Adaptive Hull Plating is... while it is slotted, activating any hull healing or command bridge officer ability will boost your maximum hull hit points for a short time, stacking up to 3 times. So, if you're somebody that enjoys tanking, you might see some mileage out of this trait. For the science versions of the ships, you have the Universal Dampening Wave Emitter. Whenever you activate it, your starship will emit a violent dampening wave that will disable nearby enemy ships, causing minor radiation damage over time, and dramatically reducing their damage output for a short time. Passive bonus to maximum shield hit points. So, very nice little get out of a crap storm console, potentially. Then, you have the Checkmate trait. While it is slotted, activating a control bridge officer ability will boost your exotic damage and projectile weapon damage for a short time. And then it gives a brief little list of the control abilities that it can proc from. So, very nice to have. Finally, for the tactical versions, we have the flagship computer. When activated, it will provide a substantial increase to flight speed, turn rate, and weapons firing cycle haste for your team for a short time, and also provides a passive bonus to directed energy damage. So, arguably, probably one of the best of the three, and one of the better consoles we have access to at the moment. Then we have the supercharged... Oh, go ahead.
So I was going to say, one of the biggest things with this console is that it does affect team. I do believe.
Yep.
Yep.
That it does.
At least it used to. There we go. It does affect your team. So this is a nice little console to hit, for example, at the end of a infected space advanced. And it'll give everybody a nice little upswing to finish the mission on.
Indeed. So, one combination I like to do, especially if I'm going for damage at the end sometimes, is I like to pair this with my tactical fleet to take even further advantage of it, which is one good option you do have. Now, the last trait we have is the supercharged weapons trait, and while it is slotted, firing a torpedo will provide a stack of the supercharged buff. The buff provides a boost to directed energy weapon damage, critical hit chance, and severity for a short time, and the buff itself stacks up to 3 times. So, potentially an interesting combination of abilities there to use the trait. But that's our flagships that we have. Definitely recommend you guys check them out. Another thing to mention, I know it didn't really cover this in the blog, but the science versions of the ships do have access to the sensor scan ability that science ships get, or sensor analysis. I don't know why I'm thinking sensor scan. But we'll have this in the notes for you guys. Definitely check these out, and hopefully y'all can do some good with them and get some good mileage out of them. But the next big thing we have is the Arena of Sompek special event. This is the new mission. Do what?
Yeah, before we do this, if you want to jump over to the next link.
To the stats.
That'll be the stats.
We can do that.
Yeah.
So, I did not even realize we had that one. And apparently I have clicked on the same one twice. So, brain fart on my part. Where is that at?
Oh no, not again. The tribbles are getting him again.
Apparently.
Okay.
So, now that
while
I've
he's figuring...
screwed it up a little bit, but... Okay, so, now we have stats. So, for those folks out there looking at getting the flagships, these are the stats you'll be working with. For the Science Sojourn class, at least I think this is the science one, or is this the engineering?
Sojourner class?
Oh, this is the engineering one. Brain fart. So,
not another one.
It's one of those
Sorry.
days.
He's getting old. He's the old man.
No, I have to put up with you numpties all the time. That's what it is. But in seriousness, at level 50, you start off with a 49,162 hull strength, and at level 60, a 57,000 base hull strength. Shield modifier of 1.15. I still see the old crew stat mentioned. Then you have a 4-4 weapons layout with 4 device slots. You have a Lieutenant Commander Tactical, Commander Engineering, Lieutenant Science, Lieutenant Universal, and Lieutenant Commander Universal/Command. So, very flexible BOF seating. Kind of similar to the T5U versions, but obviously with the new specializations added to it. Console modifications of a 3 Tactical, 5 Engineering, 3 Science layout. Base turn of 6. So, kind of on the slower side of turning, but with ships that large, kind of expected. Then the Cruiser Mastery Package is what you get this go around. So, interesting stats there. So, and we have the Yorktown, very similar stats. I believe the bridge officer seating is what's different here, and the console layout. You have a Lieutenant Tactical, Commander Engineering, Lieutenant Commander Science, Ensign Universal, and Lieutenant Commander Universal Command seat. You also have 2 Tactical seats, 5 Engineering, and 4 Science. So, very interesting layout. Then finally, for the tactical versions of the ships, you have a Lieutenant Commander Tactical, a Commander Engineering, a Lieutenant Science, Ensign Universal, and Lieutenant Commander Universal / Command. As long... getting tongue-tied again. You also have 4 console modifications, a 4 Tactical, 4 Engineering, and 3 Science layout with a base turn of 6. So pretty similar as far as some of these stats overall, with the bridge officer seatings being a little bit different and console layout, but very great ships. Any thoughts on those right quick, guys?
Well, as far as the Fed ships, one thing that I've always heard from the agronauts who spend a lot of time learning things about tanking is that the Yorktown class is one of the best ships in the game for that. So, something to think about if you're looking to make a tank would be to consider the Yorktown.
Definitely a great ship to consider. I've had luck with every one of them, but I would definitely have to agree with their assessment in that case that it is a very big contender for a tank ship. But as far as the Romulan and KDF ships, they're pretty much the same as far as layout and everything. I think the hold numbers are the main things that are a bit different. So I'm not really going to go through those this time around, but we will have this in the notes for you guys. Oh, what is it?
I was going to say the big difference is that the Romulan ships do have 5 4-weapons, 3 aft, and the hull's a little different, as well as, where's that turn rate? The turn rate's at a 7 instead of a 6, so there's that. The package is different. They get the Singularity warp core, so they don't have attract fire and things like that. They don't get the cruiser package. But yeah, so normal things you would expect, very similar to a Scimitar, Tier 5U Scimitar. The biggest difference is the command abilities.
Indeed. Now, as far as the other things that you're going to be getting, we could take a quick look at the set bonuses, because this is something you guys might want to consider, especially since you'll be able to complete the 4-piece if you pick up the Cronum Science console, since you guys are still having the anniversary event. Now, if you equip 2 pieces, you will get the Flagship Modifications passive. This gives a bonus to the turn rate and critical hit chance. Now, the numbers weren't too terribly high that I remember, but something that you could consider, because, you know, free stats is always good. Then the Deadly Response is the 3-piece passive, and when taking damage while a shield facing is critically low or depleted, you gain temporary hit points and bonus damage, stacking up to 3 times. Then if you use all 4 of the consoles, along with the Cronum Science Vessel console, you get the 4-piece of Flagship Technologies. It improves the flagship console abilities. For the adaptive emergency systems, the required minimum health is increased from 50% to 75%. For the dampening wave, it goes from 4 kilometers to 5 kilometers. And the fleet weapon acceleration is increased from 15 seconds to 20 seconds. So that's a pretty sizable increase just by having all 4 of the consoles equipped on the ship. But
Yes, definitely.
we will have this stuff in the notes for you guys, so you can kind of check it out, see some of the differences between the ships, and hopefully kind of determine if you're going to want to invest in the ships and everything. Like I say, I've had great luck with every one of them that I've ran so far. I know everybody else that's here on Pilot Review that's ran them has had pretty good luck with them, so they come highly recommended.
Fortescue is life.
Yeah,
Lombard is life.
I'm not gonna disagree with that, because KDF Sided is my bread and butter ship, usually. But, anyway, getting into our Arena of Sompek special event, finally this time. Now, this was the new queue that came about recently, what a lot of people are actually calling the no-win scenario for the ground. Basically, you zone into a Klingon holodeck, and you try to survive as many waves of enemies as you can. As long as at least one person is alive, everybody else will be able to respawn and continue on as though nothing happened. So, very interesting event so far, just trying it out with pugs. I ended up going to about wave 20. That's just us horsing around. But definitely get some good rewards from it and everything, especially the new kit module that a lot of people were talking about. That is, I believe we said that was account-wide, did we not?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes. So you get the daily reward, which unfortunately they did not put a timer for this one on the view timers that we have. So it makes us sad. But you get your voucher once every 20 hours. And once you have 3 of them, you unlock it, and then there's a reclaim in the, I believe, the dilithium store. I'll have to check. I forget where, because I haven't reclaimed it yet. Anyway, but there is a reclaim, and we'll get back to you on exactly where that reclaim is. And so that allows you to claim it on the rest of your characters on the account.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty sure.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure to get the daily thing, you have to at least clear up to wave 4.
Yes. You have to get through level 4 in order to claim the voucher. Which has had an interesting thing of people purposely going in and doing only up through wave 5 and then letting everybody die. So that way they get through it quickly just for their voucher and can move on and do other things. So if you're just in it for the voucher, you may want to consider that. But most people want to go in and see how far they can get.
Yep. So, very interesting. Oh, somebody had something?
Nope.
I was going to say, very interesting new queue. Definitely one I've had some fun with, seeing how far I could get with just a random group. But,
yes.
with this queue also...
But,
oh, go ahead, Kirby.
Good. Well, I was going to say, Artie and I did watch the live stream. Was it last night?
Yeah, it was the yesterday, I believe, or the day before.
That's what I thought. Anyway, the recent live stream with Ambassador Kael playing with different members of the community. Go ahead, Artie.
He had a lot of fun with it. A lot of the people that joined in seemed to have such a unique taste to how to take care of the arena. It was just such an interesting thing to watch.
It was definitely a lot of fun. And
yeah.
Go ahead.
As from, I believe some people have seen in the his stream, Ambassador Kael now has his own dance.
He does. He does. It is the snake dance. So you're doing the snake dance, and then you die.
Just
and
immediately.
That is the Kael dance. And that is the Kael dance. And that is why I am paying homage to Ambassador Kael by doing the snake dance through the stream.
They totally would.
Yep.
Oh
We
yeah.
totally would. We totally are.
Yes, definitely check out the tape and everything. They have that on their Facebook page, as well
Yep.
as I believe on their Twitch you can go to. You can check that out as well if you want to see some of the stuff that went on. But it is...
Yeah, and I was going to say, if you do want to know when they're going to do the next live stream, subscribe to their Twitter at Trek Online Game, or join their Facebook, which I do believe that Chris should have up right about now.
Yep.
Or should be getting to it, yeah. So you can join their Facebook or join their Twitter, and they'll be tweeting that out when he's going to do his next live stream. It really is a lot of fun, and I think he'll be doing more of them.
Yes, definitely check it out. There's usually some kind of funny something that happens that I've noticed so far.
Mm.
And it is kind of fun to watch some of the devs try to play the game and whatnot.
They did out him as the guy who will spend the money on the new shiny and not have a clue what to do with it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did say in the interview that, you know, he liked to collect stuff too, so, I mean, that really shouldn't come as a
Yep.
surprise. But
He also
Yeah.
said he was bad at the game, so.
Yep.
I'm quite happy he did use a good type of batleth in the arena.
He did.
So I'm quite happy that he didn't go totally, you know, level 2 weapons in there.
He did say that he was kind of disappointed that the nanopulse didn't do as well. The nanopulse batleth didn't do as well as the shard sword of Kaelith. And Taco Fangs kind of put him to test. Like, of course not. It's not going to do as good as the blade of a god. So, yeah. Yep.
yeah,
So they definitely had a lot of fun. He has a lot of fun playing the game. So, yeah. They're definitely enjoyable and entertaining to watch.
yeah, we'll have this in the notes for you guys as well. You can check out the video and everything. It is definitely worth the watch, if nothing else, but for some good comedy value and banter amongst the cryptic staff that goes on. But moving along to our next big thing, we have the RP blog for the Means to an End. This is the most recent one for PC. I've gone through it a little bit, and I do have to say it puts an interesting spin on things, but I know Artie's probably read through this too, so since he's the man of RP, let's get some thoughts from you first, dude.
I hate to say this, but I actually just saw this. I didn't realize they put out an RP blog.
He would. He totally would.
Oh,
You, sir, are fired.
Oh no.
well,
You
I
failed.
did read it. I
No
did
garlic
read
bread for
it.
you.
So I think it's funny. I like this line. The grain eaters in the Federation won't dare risk open war with their Klingon attack dogs. Someone's feelings might get hurt. It's like, wow. It's interesting to see how the Zenkathi view the Federation and the KDF. It definitely was. And of course, there's more to it. So, yeah, it's definitely worth a read. It's fun to see. You know, that was just one line, and of course their views of the Federation KDF. There's other views of other things like the Lucari in here, how they view them and their dealings with them, and one other character makes a recurrence, and I think you'll definitely enjoy it if you go to read it.
But definitely worth the read from what I've been seeing, and it does put a new spin on things, I was saying, but we'll include this in the notes for you guys so you can check that out and everything. The RP blogs, they're usually worth the read, especially this one in this case, I believe, as well. But moving along to the next big thing. We have the Week 2 rewards for the console for the Temporal Agent, which is completing duty officer assignments, and you will get Commendation Experience points bonus. So, very good stuff that we have there. Do you remember what tier they got to on console, Neela, for the first week, by chance?
Really didn't. At least not on Xbox. We got like halfway through tier 1. Or two tier 1. Because basically everyone I was talking to was like, we're not doing it until they fix the thing.
Can't understand that.
Okay. Well, this one won't really help you move too fast in the thing, and I guarantee you're not going to finish in 1 week. You're not going to finish the requirements that they have for the little reward thing that I can't remember the name of right now. Thank you, Meds.
I think we just found our episode title.
And, yes. Well, I could go into the whole, this side effect brought to you by oxcarbazepine. Anyway. But, yeah, the little thing you get in your inventory that keeps track of your rewards. You will not complete enough duty officer assignments to trigger the reward from that. So, I do encourage you to go ahead and do the duty officer assignments. You know, do a few, and just a few of the small ones that flip repeatedly, because each one is worth a certain amount of points for the server-wide goals, and there you go.
Yep, definitely some good stuff. If you're looking for something to get your duty officers going, this is something you guys are going to want to try to work towards and pick up and everything. But for working with your duty officers, it is worth it. The next big thing we have is the patch notes for the PS4. See, there's not really a lot there. They resolved the issues with the Undine Assault Queue, the Terminal Expanse, and the fluid dynamics, so hopefully that should work for you guys. They also added an option to the low-buy store which will allow you to purchase anniversary vouchers with low-buy crystals to speed the project along, and they also extended the anniversary event by 1 day. So, not really a lot to the notes. Any quick thoughts, guys?
Well, I'm pretty sure the 1-day extension was because of the downtime on February 21st. So this gives them, this gives them the chance to make that up. So basically gives them the same amount of time that they would have had it only been a 2.5-hour downtime.
Right.
Yeah. Which they've done in the past for PC. Other than that, not really.
Alrighty then. But we will have the link for you guys to check out. Like I say, there's not really a lot to it, but if you want to see what's there, then you'll be able to do it. I think we had, I think this is it. Yep, Xbox patch notes. Yep, pretty much the exact same thing. Yep, actually it is the exact same thing for Xbox. So.
Yep.
Yeah, not really
Not really
anything to say on that one.
Nope, they just had it separate.
Yep. So, again, like I say, we'll have this in the notes for you guys. If you want to take a look at it, then we'll have the links for you. But the next big thing that we had is the Dilithium weekend that is going on for console at the moment. This will be running from the 23rd, which was this past Thursday, to Monday the 27th. While this is going on, if you're mining in the Flugta asteroid field, you'll get a bonus 100% ore for the daily mining missions and on the rich dilithium claims. So those rich dilithium claims are now worth 10,000 dilithium ore to you each time that you're able to use one while this is going on. From the Fleet Dilithium mine, you get a 100% bonus, and everywhere else in the game, a 50% bonus. Now, sadly, this does not apply to the event reputation projects any longer, but now is the time to go out there and get that deal.
Yep.
Which
Grind.
Which, me personally, I'm almost at enough dill to convert to Zen to get the lifetime.
Heck yeah.
Yay!
Nice.
That's pretty good, dude.
Nice. That is very good. But, yeah, so definitely go out, get that dill, use those mining claims. Just one of the rich mining claims will get you enough dill to refine your limit for the day with a little more extra. So definitely use those if you have them. If not, now's the time to go grind. 50% bonus everywhere in the game, man.
Absolutely. So if you're looking to grind that Zen out for that new starship you're after, maybe just so you can splurge on a pack of keys, whatever it is, now's definitely the time to get out there and get that dill. Gotta get that dill.
And to kind of go along with that whole buy a pack of keys,
we have
into the next
the Keyring Bundle. So,
extended.
For the Keyring Bundle, this was extended a little bit for you guys as well. This will be going until February the 27th, which is this Monday. Now, the Keyring Bundle, it is essentially a 2-pack of keys that also comes with the special, what we've referred to as the Instant Epics on PC. It is a special tech bonus that will take any one item from whatever rarity and mark that it's at, straight to Mark 14 Epic quality, and is a very nice thing to use. If you're going to buy keys anyway, and you're going to buy at least 20 of them, then definitely invest in the Keyring Bundle, get yourself a nice tech upgrade to take an item to Epic, and have have 2 benefits instead of just the standard 1. Now,
yes,
for these tech upgrades, we do like to mention this a lot. Definitely save them until you know what exactly you're going to be upgrading. Put it towards something you know what you're going to get, such as maybe a warp core from one of the reputations, or an item from one of the reputations, or if you do want to use it on some type of a weapon that you've crafted, then wait until you know what the 4th mod is going to be before you do apply this and everything.
Yep. In other words, wait until the item is ultra rare. Weapons are random what modifiers they get. So, please don't use it on something that is only very rare that still has a mod to be added. Okay? Yeah, if you get something from the reputation, like a warp core or a shield or something like, those have set modifiers. So when you upgrade them, you're always going to get the same thing, but weapons do not.
Yes.
So please use it wisely.
It should be mentioned too, there are a select few weapons, such as some of the ones from the missions, their modifiers are fixed as well. So those would be the only exceptions to the weapons rule that we would mention. But yes, definitely save this. Use it on something where you know what you're going to get in advance, because personally, I believe that it would be a waste otherwise, because there's no guarantee if you're going for something specific that you're actually going to get that modifier. But if you're going to buy at least 20 keys anyway, definitely invest in the Keyring Bundle. But moving along to the next big thing that we have is the PC patch notes. Now, with the PC patch notes...
Holy notes, Patchman!
Absolutely.
Batman.
Now, with the PC patch notes and with the recent patch, we also have some of the new ground changes that they were talking about, and I believe we actually touched base on last week, if I could words today. So,
words are hard.
Yeah. With this, you can kind of see some of the changes they made to the ground powers, some of the different limits as far as the cooldowns that they have. There's quite a bit to go through as far as some of the changes they made. They also gave better descriptions to certain space powers and everything as well. Now, I know a lot of people have been hyping this as the great ground nerf and everything. Personally, I've not been able to tell a difference, and if anything, I've actually been able to use my powers more often, and it seems like my character's running a lot better. That's just me personally, but how about you guys? What's some of the stuff you've been seeing?
I'll have to agree. I've seen quite a few different kits and modules and such being used since I've been doing a lot of the Arena Sompek, but a lot of stuff actually is being used a whole lot easier and a whole lot more, and there's not really a big problem or anything. Like for me, I've used my security escorts. I do get some really good ground support from just using them, and they do survive for maybe 2 or 3 rounds, depending on how long it goes. And they are fine. As soon as they die, I can just bring more back because of how long they survived for. So
That's
a lot of
awesome.
it just actually runs things a whole lot easier. I don't see much. I see much difference, but it actually works a whole lot better from what I've seen.
I think with this, the people that are going to notice the most difference are the people who are min-maxing, the ones at the top that are really, micromanaging things to the nth degree. They're probably going to notice the biggest difference. So, I mean, I look at this and I don't really see much of a problem. I see some global cooldowns being instituted, which is similar to what we have in space. And I'm seeing that tactical initiative is only going to work for the caster and not the team, which is similar to what we have in space.
Right.
And that security escorts, desummons your previous ones, but they're stronger and faster, so...
I do have one thing to add. The one thing I am not happy with is that the Killgat is next to worthless now.
The Kligat, yeah. I mean, I can see that because the big thing with the Kligat was that it always crit.
Yeah.
And now they've taken that away. So, I mean...
I understand now you can use it more
reasoning.
often, but yeah. I think it was due to some people in PvP maybe going, oh my goodness, it kills me all the time, and they spawn camp, and this, that, and the other, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
It could be any reason,
I mean, yeah, I don't know their reasoning, so it's hard to criticize, well, why'd they do that? Because I don't know why, and they haven't shared why. So devs, if you care to share why or what the reasoning was, we'd be more than happy to hear that. But, I don't know, it seemed, what I've heard from others is that the whole reason they got it was because it always critically hit. And that was its claim to fame. And now it doesn't, and so, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, besides that, everything else seems fine.
Yeah, like for me, the one thing I stuck out for me was the nanomolecular architect, where they resolved the issue where the resistance to the trait provided to your fabrications would be increased by your damage buffs. Like, that was just a straight up bug and had to go. What is really nice is the resistance buff is increased to 25, and regeneration buff increased by to 200% per minute. So, like my medical generators and my phaser turrets, they're lasting a lot longer and they're hitting harder.
So that's a good thing.
Absolutely. But the big thing that I'm noticing, especially as attack, is one of the big things, the way I did whenever I revamped my ground kit recently, is I have a lot of abilities that I can draw from to buff myself. I have a few that can buff the team, and I'm seeing that I'm actually able to throw those a lot more often. So, at the same time, yeah, did I lose out in a few areas? Sure. But at the same time, the ability to throw the buffs out to the team as well has more than made up for that. Now, I know a lot of the changes and everything, I know this is a lot for people to process in one go with changes like this. It's especially if one of your favorite abilities or weapons was one of the ones that got hit. It's not fun to deal with these. It's not fun when stuff like this happens, but from time to time, if any game is around long enough or any issue crops up, eventually from time to time they are going to take a look at stuff like this so they can improve the game. For balance issues, something may get nerfed and other things may get buffed, and some powers may get changed so that they work the same way but with less complication behind the scenes, so that they run a lot smoother or perhaps even better overall. Like I say, it's not fun to have to deal with a lot of changes and relearn a bunch of stuff potentially, but in the long run, this will be a lot better off for everybody. Everything. So,
I mean, not everything has been changed badly, like endothermic induction only lasts 15 seconds, but had its initial damage increased, and the hazard damage has been significantly increased. You know, so a lot of things have been increased. Pistols do more damage. Anti-time entanglement field has been significantly increased. You know, so there are a few things where they've straight up said it's been increased. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I don't know why they, in known issues, there's sometimes a 20 to 30 second delay in between rounds in the arena, because that gives me enough time to breathe. That's what I need.
Know, right?
That's what's been getting me to, like, I don't even know what round I was on. Oh my goodness.
Now, from what I am told, and I have not tested this, but from what I'm told, that delay is caused by chronoton mines.
Ooh.
Ooh.
yeah, that would be an issue in that case, man.
So, yeah.
But,
That
Yeah.
explains a lot, yeah.
yeah. But we will have this in the notes for you guys. Like I say, there is a lot of stuff to go through and everything with this. Like I say, and because there's a lot of stuff and everything, if you have any questions regarding any of the patch notes and everything, I mean, you're more than welcome to drop any of us a line. We'll try to explain what we can, and you know, if we're not able to answer the question, then perhaps you might be able to tweet one of the devs or ping one of them on the forums as well. But like I say, that's the PC patch notes for this week. We will have that in our show notes for you guys. But the next big thing we have, since we're on the arena of Sompek still, is actually the rewards that you get depending on how far you go. So basically, for the marks, you can see there's kind of a pretty healthy breakdown as far as what you can get for rounds 4 through 6. If you can make it through there, you get at least 10 marks. If you can make it all the way up to 63 plus rounds, that is 130 marks. So very, very sizable there, especially if you're getting your daily marks for the day. For your dilithium rewards, if you can survive all the way up to 99 rounds, you will get 4,560 dilithium in one go. So that is over half of your daily dilithium in one shot. Then for crafting materials, if you get up to 91 rounds, you get 1 normal and 6 elite materials. So a pretty decent breakdown of stuff there. But also the universal kit module, the Sompek Lightning. So if you're somebody that wants to go all Emperor Palpatine and call down a lightning bolt from the sky, then you may want to check this out. But
Yeah.
but
They're merging.
I like
They're
the
merging
evil
the
laugh.
two thresholds.
I like the Artie's evil laugh. It's
I
quite
have
cute.
it. It's very fun.
So I'm gonna ask. I've got up as high as round 13. I only played it once. Really played it once the first day. But what rounds have you guys gotten up to?
73. One of my team partners is in chat right now. Hi, Jazz.
Nice.
okay.
Okay, I didn't even realize I was in there. You know, a group of you.
What about you, Neela? What round did you get up to?
The same round that we got to Artie.
Okay. And you,
I don't remember.
Darkblade?
I don't remember.
Okay.
First time I went in there, we went on a normal just to kind of check it out. It's myself and a few fleet mates. We got up to, and then I know Neela was in there with us for a little bit as well. I think we got to round, it's either 23 or 24. Everything, and then 2 people ended up leaving. So with 3 people in there to get to 23 or 24, I think that's a pretty decent accomplishment.
That's pretty good. Yes, it is. Okay.
Turrets
Yeah.
for the win.
So-
Turrets for the win.
Oh yeah.
Now, there is a video out there of a group getting up to 400.
Wow.
It reportedly took them 5 hours to do this, and they were using, at some of the higher levels, the Chronoton mines to give them a quick break. You know, to like stand up for a second and or
Dust off their
quick bio
clothing,
break and yeah,
My
quick
goodness.
bio break and run back, yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, 5 hours to get just to see, you know, how high they could get before they went, you know what, I'm done with this. Yeah, they
Even
were
then,
done at round 400.
400. That's a pretty good accomplishment.
It is. That is a very good accomplishment. Yeah, I'm waiting to see somebody go above that. But
I hope they got good rewards out of that.
you know, they got, well, it stops scaling up at what you see here.
Oh yeah.
So they got 130 plus the daily, if they chose something with the daily, 4,560 Zen, and
Zen?
1 normal crafting box and 6 elite.
So 4,000 Zen,
So,
huh?
yeah, for 5 hours.
I didn't realize it paid out in
Zen.
Zen.
Yeah.
4,000 Zen.
They're not Zen, sorry, Dill.
Just checking,
That
just
was you.
checking. I
I'm
was gonna say,
sorry.
heck yeah, I'm getting in there and doing that.
I would
Yeah,
be
I know,
in there
right?
right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know. My apologies. Dilithium.
It would be a special episode of Pirate Review Arena.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No notes, just us
Yeah.
killing everything.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
There you go.
But it wouldn't be PRS if we didn't give Kirby just the slightest bit of crap for that. Just because we can.
Yeah, don't worry, we
Yep.
got bugs for you later.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yep. See, I misspoke. It's okay. It happens.
But the next big
Anyway.
thing we have is, on console, we have the week 2 of the Echoes of Light rewards. This was the Nausicaan set that you can get for the Entoiled Technologies. I did preview some of these items for you guys, I believe, last week, whenever we showed off some of the stuff that you can get a hold of. This was the Nausicaan set. I actually use it on my flagship at the moment, which is my Cardassian Keldon, along with the Resonant Disruptors and my Spiral Waves that I have. So, I like the set. I definitely recommend it to you guys. But the other thing you get, just as a reminder, for doing the episode for the first time that week, once per account, you can get a box that will grant you either a enhanced Universal Tech upgrade or a Captain Specialization point, which is account bound, so you can move it to whatever tune that you like. and everything, but you just have to be the appropriate level to use the item. But definitely a great set overall, I think. Any quick comments, guys?
For me, like on my card fee, let me rephrase this. On one of my card fees, I used this set on it, and it's a pretty nice set.
Okay.
Which
Yeah.
Jeff, I have like 10 card fees.
He does. He's weird like that.
Mm-hmm.
Card fees fun.
I don't blame you. I've got a bunch of Galores and Keldons myself. I mean, if it works, use it. But
yeah, it's definitely a good set, especially if you're just coming up. You need something that's disruptor. It's a good set for that kind of thing. And I actually have a Teacher's Corner that reviews it, so you can look for that. That was featured on the on this show.
Sweet.
But yeah.
Now, the next big thing that we have, this is actually for our console players. You guys have a 20% services sale going on at the moment. This will last from this Thursday, the 23rd, until Monday, the 27th. So, this includes things such as the character slots, the account shared bank slots, regular bank slots, the bridge officer slots, the retrain, rename, everything, the duty officer slots, inventory, outfit, ship loadout slots, ship slots, and also the lifetime subscription. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
We don't get a 20% discount on lifetime subscription for a services sale.
Well,
Wow.
I mean, we do technically get $100 off, which is about almost a 33% off occasionally, so...
Yes.
Occasionally, yeah.
And because they have to do it this way for console, this is the only way you can get it. You can't
Okay.
you can't go to the our website and buy it for the console. You have to buy it from in the C store.
Makes sense.
Okay.
So it's still,
But yeah.
it's basically still the same discount what PC gets for it, just in Zen.
It's just different, yeah. Okay, but definitely I recommend getting the account shared bank slots if you are not a paid subscriber. This is going to be very helpful to you, especially as you get your reputations going. If you have more than one character, once you get your full reputation on one character, you can then make sponsorship tokens, which cut down the amount of time it takes to do another character by half, but the only way to transfer them from one character to another is through your account bank. So
Mail.
Yep, no, you can't.
They
They are restricted to account bank only.
I just did one through mail.
Really? Because it says on them, only through account bank. That's odd.
Maybe that was No, they always hit account bank. Huh, that's weird.
Since you're,
It must be a bug.
since you're technically mailing it to yourself, I can see it working like that, but I don't know.
Right, but with the mail system, the mail system isn't restricted to only being able to mail to yourself.
But it would depend on the destination in that case, is what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
something to
I did put in my... I did just put in my ad only and it worked, so...
But anyway,
That's
the
odd.
next big thing that we have, this is actually one of the big ones for console, is a 20% ship sale. So this started on Thursday the 23rd, is running until the 27th. Now this includes pretty much from what we're seeing, almost all of the ships in the C store. There may be a few select exceptions.
Except the flagship.
Yeah, except for the flagship. But any other ships are 20% off. It includes bundles which are comprised of only ships. Does not include bundles that have other ships in them. So if it had something such as a hypothetical, a ground weapon, then it would not apply to that bundle specifically. Now, the ship upgrade tokens to take a ship to T5U has also been included in this, as well as fleet ship modules being 20% off. Now, the other thing that the blog does mention, each time you buy a Tier 5 ship, you will receive a free ship upgrade token to use. So, as this explains in the blog, if you buy the Dyson Mega Bundle, as one hypothetical, you will be given 9 individual tokens for each of the 9 ships. So, essentially, you could say that they're going to start out automatically at a Tier 5U. So, if you're looking at investing in a Tier 5 ship, this is definitely a time to consider purchasing, because you will get your money's worth for this.
User joined your channel.
Then the Fleet Module Bundle will be available for purchase for the first time on console as part of the sale, and will only be available during future ship sales, so definitely check that out. And it gives a discounted price rate. Each ship will be 2,500 Zen, faction bundles will be 5,000, and mega bundles will be 10,000. So you can kind of see what kind of discounts you're in for there. But comments on the ship sales, guys?
Take advantage of it now.
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely a great time to buy ships. And even though the flagship bundle is not included, it is still slightly discounted. So definitely consider it.
Most definitely. But like I say, we'll have this stuff in the notes for you guys. And all that, I believe this was... Okay, yep, that's a duplicate from earlier.
The next blog is just saying that Tier 6 were live as of Thursday.
So, the next thing we have, this one is actually for us here on the PC. We have a 20% personnel sale. This includes things such as the Borg Bridge Officer, the Cation, the Aenir Bridge Officers. You also have...
Aenir,
isn't that what I said?
You said Aenir.
Aenir, however, close, whatever it is. I'm from the South, don't grammar at me.
I will grammar at you all I want.
You're fired.
Hey now. Hey now, boys, you're both pretty. Let's move on.
You're so pretty.
Yeah, I'm the one that gets things around here. Totally.
I know, right?
Yep. And if you're somebody as well that maybe you've considered playing as a Cation, a Ferocin, or a Riemann, now's the time to invest in that species because of the discount that you get. So, and perhaps if you've considered playing as a Klingon officer as a Federation character. So, some very interesting stuff that you can get access to. But something that is pretty good as well is this does apply to the bridge officer slots. So that is yes, that does apply to Trills. So very healthy collection of stuff that you've got a discount on, but we will have this in the notes for you guys as well, so you can see what all you get the discount with. But moving along to the next thing, we actually have our budget build for this week. And this budget build was actually requested by a viewer. He wanted a drain ship that involved the Jem'Hadar attack ship, Tier 5U. And since he wanted a drain build, we decided to go with Polarons. And just to mix it up a little bit and be different, and not be so cookie cutter sometimes that I can be guilty of doing, I decided to go with a Polaron cannon build for this particular ship, just as something different. Now, the T5U bug ship...
It definitely...
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say it definitely has the turn rate to handle that.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Now, the original T5U bug ship, this is the one that came out way back when, years ago. and everything. And now the only way to get this ship is through the Phoenix pack whenever that makes its rounds again. Hopefully sometime pretty soon. But anyway, if you've never flown the Bug ship before, it's a very fast-turning little ship. Definitely has a lot of punch to it, and can be very nasty if it's something you're going up against. Now, as far as weapons go, we used 3 of the Dominion Polaron dual cannons. These come from the Boldly They Rode mission. Now, I should also mention, before I get too much further, because brain fart, this is actually a bare bones budget. The person didn't really specify exactly how much he had to spend, so we assume in cases like that they're going for a bare bones budget. If they want us to do a mid-range, we can go back and do that later. But the other weapons that we have are the chronometric Polaron sets. Now these do come in a cannon variety as well as a beam variant. Now, the one thing I will mention about the forward weapons is that the chronometric cannon is actually a dual heavy cannon versus the regular duals. So the firing cycles will be a bit different, but the overall buff to the Polarons themselves, in my opinion, warranted the difference. Then for our aft weapons, we have the chronometric Polaron turret, as well as the 2 turrets that we had to purchase from the exchange. Now, we had to purchase the 2 turrets from the exchange. I was lucky enough to get them for 80,000 apiece. So our only real energy credit cost for the build was the 2 turrets. So you're looking at about 160,000 EC, which leaves almost 1.8 million EC for you to play with elsewhere. So, and actually was able to score pretty decent mods on these. These were, what did I end up getting for these? The DMG2 Crit Ds. So, pretty cheap there.
That's not bad at all.
But yeah, we couldn't really find a mission that gave Polaron turrets as a reward, so we kind of got stuck going this route. But as far as the shields, the engine, and the deflector go, now for our deflector, engines, and shields, we went with the old Jim Hadar set. This buffs the Polaron damage as well as offers some various buff stripping abilities, since this is a Jim Hadar based ship and it's using Polaron weapons. It does have the ability to strip buffs from the enemy from time to time. Then, because the Jim Hadar set does not come with a warp core, we had to go out and get a warp core, and the one that we used is one that is my personal favorite on the budget end, and that is the Temporal Phase Overcharged Warp Core, which comes from the Butterfly mission. As far as where you can pick these up, the Jim Hadar set is actually acquired in 2 places. The deflector and the engines come from the Operation Gamma mission, so you will need a shuttle to run the mission. And then the shields come from the Boldly They Rode mission, so you get to hear Curlin talking a few times if you're somebody that...
Curlin here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Curlin here.
Again, much respect to
This is Curlin.
Bordicus, who was the original voice actor for Curlin, everything. But,
Curlin here.
yeah.
Curlin here.
Even if we do give him
Curlin
a hard
here.
time, we do have much
Curlin
respect
here.
for Bordicus and whatnot. But, as far as the devices go, those, in my opinion, are purely personal preference. Now, one that I do like to use is the Subspace Field Modulator. It's a very nice little defensive device that you can get from the Skirmish mission. And then, what I have slotted here is the Energy Amplifier batteries. You can purchase them from the exchange, you can craft them, however you'd want to get a hold of them, whatnot. Now, for our engineering consoles, we have the Trillium D plating. This comes from the Ragnarok mission. It's sort of a combination of a shield buffing console, capacity-wise, one of those science consoles. I believe it's the field amplifier, isn't that what they call them? But, anyway, it's essentially a armor console and a shield boosting console in one thing, so it gives you the benefits of both, but only takes up a single slot. Then we have, from Reputation, we actually have 3 Reputation consoles. We have the Sustained Radiant Field from Iconian that gives some buffs to hull healing and shield healing, as well as a bit of a buff to energy weapon damage. Then we have our Assimilated module from Omega Rep, which is crit chance and severity mainly, as well as can be used to make the Omega Kinetic Shearing, if somebody wanted to take a look at that. But then we also have the new console. This is from the Lucari reputation. This is the piezoelectric Polaron console, or the piezoelectric focuser specifically. Now, it does also buff Polaron damage, which is one of the reasons we wanted to utilize this. So, essentially, you could say that this ship is using 6 tactical consoles, so to speak. But, actually, I do, so if anybody's curious, let me, I think I have it, yep, I have it sitting in my inventory here, so you can get kind of an idea of what the console looks like. Now, mine is a Mark 13 Ultra Rare. I actually have the account unlocked from Temporal Agent, so it is impossible for me to churn these out at Mark 12 anymore. So this is the unupgraded version for me. It is 33.8% Polaron damage, 15% flight turn rate, and 16.9 maximum shield capacity. So, in addition to his Trillium deplating and the piezoelectric console, he's going to have at least around a 40% buff to his overall maximum shields. So that's a pretty sizable thing I wanted to give him there. For science consoles, we have 2 of the restorative particle focusers with the Drain X ×2 mod. These come from the Crenham Science Lab and can be picked up at the Mark 12 Ultra Rare. Now, these particular consoles, anytime he's using a heal, he'll have the chance to buff his exotic damage. Now, he's not really using exotic damage abilities, but the reason we wanted to pick these up was to buff the drain from his Polarons. So that is one of the main reasons that we wanted to have that. For the tactical consoles, we also have the Chronometric Capacitor. This is another one from the Chronometric set. Now, the Chronometric set comes from the Time and Tide mission. And then for the rest of his tactical consoles, you have the Pre-Fire Chambers, which those come from the Terminal Expanse mission in the Yesterday's War arc. Now, once again, I will mention, in order to see the Terminal Expanse mission, you will need to have completed all of the prior missions in Yesterday's War, otherwise you will not be able to see the mission. For skills, again, pretty much the standard build you've seen me use. Everything, I've got some, kind of see what I've got for Lieutenant, Lieutenant Commander, everything. Then we have the Commander and Captain skills, and then also the Admiral setup. Now, I personally am not a fan of the ultimate abilities, everything. I don't really use them, because I feel as far as tanking goes, I have to give up too much in order to justify their use. They are very good abilities, though, everything, so if you're somebody that wants to try one out, again, definitely do so. Everything, just, me personally, I'm not really a fan of them. For specializations, we have Pilot as the primary for a lot of the immunities that it can give, and also Strategist secondary for a lot of the damage buffs, and potential tanking buffs that it can give as well, depending on whether or not you are in threatening stance. Now, the next big thing that we have are the traits, if it will load up. Skill Planner's been a little laggy tonight. Now, for our personal space traits, we have the Cannon Training, which is free cannon damage. We also have Elusive, Operative, for free crit chance and severity. We have Fleet Coordinator, for the free damage. We also have the Cannon trait for R&D, the Deft Cannoneer. Then we also have the Give Your All from Engineering. So those two, again, I assume that when somebody's leveling their character, they're going to level at least 2 of the crafting schools. And the cannons and the engineering were the 2 that I chose in this case. Then we also have the Nanite Repair Matrix trait. This comes from the Midnight mission. Then we also have the last-ditch effort. This was because the person that wanted to use this is a tactical captain. If you wanted to adapt this to an engineer or a science person, you would just swap in your career-specific trait. Then finally, we have the point-blank shot from the House Peg mission. Starship traits, we have the improved pedal to the metal from Pilot. We have the best defense. The attack patterns grant a hull healing buff along with normal effects. That is also from the House Peg mission. Then we have the unconventional tactics ability. Activating brace for impact increases damage for a short period of time. That also comes from the strategist specialization. Far Space Rep, I used advanced targeting systems for free severity. Precision for free crit hit chance. Then I like to use the chronocapacitor array. Another one you could have used would be the Aux offensive, or perhaps the armor penetration ability. And then finally the energy refrequencer, so that directed energy attacks heal for a portion of the damage dealt. Then for our active reps, we have anti-time entanglement singularity, the biomolecular shield generator, the quantum singularity manipulation, and the deploy sensor interference platform. Now, the combination we do like to recommend to people, especially for your anti-time entanglement, before you throw that, throw your quantum singularity manipulation first, so you can get the science buff from it, then follow up with your anti-time singularity, and it will hit a lot harder. Finally, for bridge officers, give this just a moment to load. Okay, now that that's loaded, for this particular ship, you have 2 Lieutenant Universals, a Commander Tactical, a Lieutenant Commander Tactical, and an Ensign Engineering for your bridge officer stations. For the Lieutenant Universal, one of them I did as an engineer. I did a Engineering Team 1 to repair the hull a bit, and the reverse shield polarity to recharge the shields. For the second Lieutenant Universal, I went with a Hazard Emitters 1 and a Science Team 2. The Hazard Emitters for purging certain debuffs, as well as the healing that it gives, and temporary damage resist. The Science Team to recharge the shields a bit, as well as purge certain debuffs, such as subnucleonic effects. Now for the Ensign Engineering, I did throw an Emergency Power to Weapons 1 in there for the weapons power and the buffs that it can give. Now, for the Commander Tactical, I went with a Tactical Team 1 to automatically redirect shield energy to where it's needed, as well as purging certain tactical debuffs. I went with an Attack Pattern Beta this go around. Anything you hit with Beta will suffer a damage resistance debuff. Then we have a copy of Scatter Volley 2 for AoE damage, and a Rapid Fire 3 for single target. For our Lieutenant Commander Tactical, we pretty much doubled up on several skills. We have another Tactical Team 1, a Scatter Volley 1, and a Rapid Fire 2. Now, the Scatter Volley will need to be trained by a Tactical Captain or purchased from the exchange, but that's the only major point of note here with the bridge officers. But, any thoughts, guys, as far as what we got here?
Well, I do have a couple I don't want to bombard, though.
Okay.
Oh, no, with the tactical skills, I would have chosen either one or the other with the cannon skills.
Okay.
Just because if you're always using one or the other, then if you're always using rapid fire, then scatter volley is never going to be available. Plus you're using 4 skills for, for one type of weapon, so it kind of frees things up. So you could have put Scatter Volley 3, Scatter Volley 2, put in another attack pattern beta, and then maybe even attack pattern omega. And I think that would give a really good tactical base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I could see you going that way, though, is for, like, I'm just going to take ISA, for example. For, like, the big mob of stuff coming out, is you scatter volley, and then for the, like, transformer, when the little nanite cubes are done.
Whoa, fizzy. Rest in peace, headset users, fair warning.
Okay.
But, there we go.
But yeah, like when the rapid fire would be more for on the transformer, on the gate, or on the attack cube by itself. I think is why he was going for it that way.
Then with that argument, then I could see Scatter Volley 3, Scatter Volley 2, a Rapid Fire 1, and then another Attack Pattern Beta. And then put it like that.
Oh, yeah.
That gives you Rapid Fire when you want it, but leaves you with mostly Scatter Volley, which is Area of Effect, which is going to do you really a lot better. The other thing I was thinking, I would actually turn the Lieutenant Universal into a Science, and then put a couple drain abilities there. Either Energy Siphon 1 or Tychon's Rift. Both will drain, that'll take advantage of your drain, and then the Tachyon Beam to drain the shields. So that'll still leave you your buff cleansers in the other Lieutenant Universal, but it'll give you a couple drain abilities that will help to make this more of a drain boat. I know it's going to leave you with no engineering team and no reverse shield polarity, so it'll be a little more vulnerable.
That would.
But if you can shut down their shields and their power, you know what I mean?
Potentially. Though the thing that I fear is that would pretty much gut it as far as survival cooldowns.
Possibly. However, if you go into the skills and you take off the shield mastery and trade that for the science, good God, can't words tonight. For the scientific readiness, then that'll help to reduce the cooldowns on his science skills.
It could, but like I say, the thing that I worried about with that, because I did consider that, but ultimately, as far as any kind of major burst healing, he would have nothing in that department.
True. And that's, like I said, it is going to make him more vulnerable to do that. So the other option might be to take out the two cleanses altogether and put in the, so leave the engineering ones and then change the science to the drains, but then it leaves without any cleanses.
Potentially. But
so basically options.
Yeah.
We're just looking at different ways of thinking about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I have to say it looks pretty.
He would. But, yeah, point being, with a ship like the Bug ship that actually has a fair amount of universal seating, you do have a lot of options with a ship like this and everything. So
you do.
You could go more DPS focused, you could go more drain focused if you want to. If you feel that somebody else has enough threat, or if you're needing a lot more healing, you could swap some of your abilities around as well. Everything. So, yeah. Definitely some options, everything. Hopefully the guy that requested this is able to see it and everything, whatnot. But we will have, for anybody that wants to check it out, and for our viewer request, we'll have that in the notes for him and for everybody else as well, so you can check this out. As far as the Bugs corner goes this week, there not really too awful much that I can get into aside from the minor stuff and everything. I have been going through, checking out certain things beyond that, but like I say, not really a lot to it this week. But the big thing that we have next is actually our Teacher's Corner. And this is the what do I do with all of this Omega stuff? And take it away, Teacher
Yes. So, yeah, especially if you're new to the game, or, especially for our console players that are new to all of this. So this is the question, what do I do with all this Omega stuff I've been getting because Q sent me to it, or I've been grinding it because people said I should. So now what do I do with it because the Omega event's over, or will soon be over for console? So this shows you how to combine everything and get that elusive Omega upgrade that everybody tells you is so good. And it is really, really good. So it shows you where to do it. Don't worry, you'll be able to do it year-round. So, yeah. So this shows you what to do and how to do it and where to do it, and yeah.
Alrighty. Seems...
Takes about 15 minutes on the out of your life to watch it.
So...
Thoughts, comments?
Actually, your timer here's saying about 10 minutes, but close enough.
Is it? I thought it was 15. Oh well.
I say it's super helpful because I know a lot of people that have collected a lot of them just because and didn't know what to really do with them. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
It should be mentioned as well that, like Teacher's saying, you can refine and combine the Omega stuff all year long. You can only acquire them, however, once per year during the event. So that is the one little stipulation. But anyways, coming up on our final segment of the evening, we have the RP Corner with Artie, and So the Borg are invading. And take it away, Sir Artie.
Okay, in recent role plays with myself and my fleet, we've gotten to a Borg arc. I might have mentioned this a couple weeks back. Something has come across that a lot of people like the Borg are always that #1 enemy to the Federation. So that's always someone we can always go out and beat up if we need to. Just to, relieve some stress. That's how it is, right? But a lot of people go, well, if I want to do this and don't have a Foundry map for the team, where can I go? What can I do? A lot of people seem to forget that if you want to do ground and you have a lot of want to fight a lot of Borg and you actually have your RPers kitted out to do to take on actual ground PvE, there's the Farah. As I've explained to a couple of RPers before, a couple of times before when they asked me this, I told them that the Farah has a lot of little missions that you can run, and if you want to roleplay them, they have like little areas that you can stop, pause, talk to each character, and then continue on going through endless hordes of Borg. And they even have all sorts of cool little underground areas, cool little ancient hill kind of ruins that go kill Borg. All these sorts of little missions. It's very nice. Other zones like this, even though they've removed the Task Force Omega from the map and all that, they still have quite a few of the missions out there that you can run with a team. You don't want to do the story it shows there, but if you have a team of 5, a lot of the maps in the Borg arc in the game do run some fairly substantial, go out, take care of Borg, do this, do that kind of missions, and that's usually fun for RPers. Some of it could be maybe just wibble a little bit, trying to say, all right, so you find this Undine kind of Borgified. Maybe you don't find a Borgified Undine. Maybe it's actually just a giant Gorn and that's just your mission, and you're just trying to get to the Borg curriculum. Who knows? But that's the beauty in RP. That's just another location that you can use. That's just one thing. So that's just a little bit about it.
Okay, seems decently thought out and everything.
Yeah, it's not the first time I've heard of this. Like, I've been on Defera before and seen, like, a group of, you know, recruits or people all wearing the same uniforms, and, like, a guy walking back and forth like he's giving them a briefing or, you know, or inspecting and stuff like that. So I've seen what looked like some kind of role-playing going on, you know, in the base camp of the Defera ground zone and that kind of stuff. It looks like they were having fun, so definitely looked interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope it's just as interesting when I get to run my events on Defera. Just as a little hint towards any role players in the chat or anything.
Here's a hint. Sometimes the city alcoves are bugged.
Yeah.
And yes,
And you'll have to wait
report.
7 minutes. Yay!
Or anybody asks, yes, there is reports in on it already.
But yeah.
But anyways, folks, that's pretty much what we have for y'all this evening. Everything, hopefully you've enjoyed the show, found the information of use, and everything. Like I say, we'll have all this in the show notes for you guys, so you can check it out. You can check out the live stream that they did, the video from that. You can check out some of the various blogs, including the new RP blog, as well as quite a bit of the patch notes for PC that there was out there. But anyways, guys, like I say, it's pretty much what we have this week. Tune in next week for more shenanigans, more fun STO news, and everything. But for now, folks, this is Pilot Review, and we are signing out.
Remember, the kill dance is doing the snake dance until you're killed.
This is true.
Yeah.
And with that, good night. Oh, almost forgot. Oh my goodness. Pilot Review wants to go to Las Vegas. And we need your help. Oh my goodness. I'm losing it tonight. See all this kill dance and stuff? Yep. Alright, so Pilot Review wants to go to Las Vegas. We need your help for some of the expenses for the booth, the power, the internet, so we can keep you all involved, right? And we can show you what's going on and get those cool interviews and broadcast them out. So check out our GoFundMe page. A few people have donated already. Thank you very much for our donators. And yeah, so keep us in mind. We have until about, what, mid-July? Because it's in August. Yeah, so we have until about mid-July to get everything settled up. So yeah, keep us in mind if you can't afford it now. If you can't afford it at all and you know you won't be able to, pass it on to a couple people who maybe would like to donate or can. And thank you for your consideration. And do the kill dance.
Poor Kale.
Okay.
Yep, anyways, folks, definitely check out the GoFundMe if you'd like to see us out at Vegas again and would like to help out with any expenses, everything. Even if it's just passing along the word, everything to everybody, we are grateful for any and all help that you can give. But, anyways, folks, we will catch you all next week.
Hey.
See ya.